Just what was your thoughts on the game? Strong first half.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before the game, like they're not going to quit. And, their ability to, play in the paint with physicality is something that we've talked about. And, Valanciunas had 25 rebounds and, they had 25 offensive rebounds, and they end up with, I'm not quite sure, but close to 20 more shots than us, something along those lines. So that allows for them to have so many extra possessions, and that can tire you out. I thought, we hadn't played in over a week, and I thought there was some rust on our side in execution of certain offensive sets. Defensively, we got a bit spread out, especially in the third quarter. They had 37 points in that quarter, but I told our guys, to be able to persevere under those circumstances in a playoff game and win the game, you'll take it every time. And I feel like we're going to get better once we get our game legs underneath us come Tuesday.
Do you think that was some of the best defense you guys have played on the season in the first half?
First half was great. I mean, I got to look at the tape. I thought they missed some shots. But, the first half was Suns defense. In the second half, especially the third, we gave up a lot of one-on-one drives to the basket, and then our bigs had to come over and help, and then you give up offensive rebound. So we got to do a much better job of staying in front of the ball. But to your point, first half is the kind of defense we can play over the course of a 48-minute game.
Are you concerned about the disparity of offensive rebounds?
Yeah, it's been something we've talked about for a while. We have to continue to work at, hitting those guys first. I think the bigs are caught in between coming over to help on the drive and staying with Valanciunas. And, we have to do a better job of staying in front of the ball from the perimeter so the bigs can stay connected. But give him credit. He was a physical force tonight, but we'll be better come Tuesday.
Coach, obviously, you've seen Chris do this before, but again, I think we had 17 out of 19.
Yeah.
That just let him go, put the ball in.
Yeah, he was running middle pick and roll. A couple times we did a side pick and roll, but they were switching, and the big backed up, and he had a hot hand, and he was knocking down shots. And then there were a couple times he just got to the basket. But I think the team set up having the shooters around him allows for him to get to the paint, and DA and JaVale diving puts a lot of pressure on the rim. But that's just classic Chris. At the right time, he takes over, and we needed it. There was a spell in the third where we just turned it over. We got bad shots. We got to the basket and missed the layup, and then we fell down, and we were behind in transition. It was like a 5-on-3 break at times if we had a guy in the corner. And so his ability to knock down those shots allowed for us to set our defense.
One of the things I had, Coach, was, you're big on film sessions.
Yeah.
After the game. How important will it be to have that tomorrow? That the guys
It'll be huge. The guys were already talking about it. They know what to expect, and it's all in an effort to get better. When we talk about rebounding and we give up that many offensive rebounds, there's a reason why, and we got to look at it. We can say one thing, but when you look at the film, it may be something totally different. And so maybe a breakdown on the ball, just guarding the ball, or it could have been a pick and roll coverage because we were up some with our bigs. And so if a shot goes up, they're behind. And Valanciunas is a big dude, so we just have to do a much better job of keeping him off the glass.
What's the message of physicality, Coach? That cheap shot that DA took. I mean, you don't want your guys taking that in their own hands, but at the same time, you got to respond.
No, I don't think the goal is to win the game. That's the icing on the cake, and that's what I told DA in that timeout. We don't want anybody cheap shotting our guys. I got to look at the film. The coaches told me they didn't think it was a malicious shot, but nonetheless, it was a physical game. I mean, when the team has that many offensive rebounds and runs that many pick and rolls, you're going to touch somebody every once in a while. But I'm not quite sure it was a malicious shot. I got to look at the film to make sure. I didn't see that.
Speaking of DA, I know the rebounding is a little bit of a concern, but defensively, I mean, especially for a while, that might be as good as he's played this year. What do you think?
I thought the ability to guard smaller guys and force tough shots. I think he had a couple where he was guarding a smaller guy and they tried to get to the basket and he sent it out of bounds, and that allowed for us to set our defense. He's a weapon for us. You know, when you're in a late clock situation and you can put a 7-foot athletic guy on the ball and trust him not to foul and force a tough shot, you'll take that every time.
Coach, on a related note, how did you like the defense point of attack, especially, holding McCollum to 9 of 25? It seemed like
Mikhail's just, he's long, he's aggressive. He got a bit frustrated on that one where he got a foul call, and I didn't think that was a technical. I mean, this is a physical, emotional game, and he slaps the ball. Mikhail's not that kind of a player. He's frustrated because he may have given up a foul, but CJ's a handful, and he's one of the rare guys that can dribble 10, 15 times and get off a shot. And Mikhail's one of the rare guys that can stay in front and force a tough shot. So we know that he has the ability to stay in front of people. In the end, they were trying to get Mikhail off of him, and we got to try our best to keep him on their scores. I thought he and Jay did a really good job, and Cam and Torrey on their scores tonight.
Coach, I know you said you want to look at the film, but the Pelicans have been getting a lot of offensive rebounds all season. You guys. And that one win they had the other week, more than you. What's been the problem most of the time this year? Has it been the boxing out of the bigs or the smaller guys, getting in there and getting those rebounds defensively?
All of it. It's been, we have to have a hit first mentality. When you look around the league, like boxing out has become like a lost art. When the shot goes up, everybody's stargazing. You know what I mean? And we've talked about it, and our guys understand it. And teams are taking advantage of it. Free throw box out, you see guys pushing you under the stanchion, that kind of thing. But we just have to do a better job. I can sit here and talk about it all day long. They're not going to stop doing that. They've done it all season, not just against us, but they've been in the positive more times than not in that category.
Monty, when you just look back on the defense again in the first half, how much of that was just team-based in terms of rotations you guys are making? Because it seemed like a lot of the effort was to deny Ingram and McCollum space once they dribbled.
I mean, we're just trying to make it as tough on those guys as we can. A lot of it was, putting two guys on the ball, but then the weak side pulled in to force a longer pass if we could. Some of it was just forcing them into one-on-one situations. And then the first half, they didn't make that many shots. In the second half, they made more shots in that environment. But the first half defense, we were way more connected than we were in the third quarter.
With Landersham and not playing, is that just not a comfort level with him physically, or just not where the rotation?
No, I just decided to shrink the rotation. I talked to him before the game and told him what I was thinking. Having a longer defender on Ingram was the idea, but there may be opportunities for Landry to get out there. There was a moment in the second when they took CJ out. I thought about getting him in there, but we also had Jay out, and I decided to keep Torrey on Ingram. So it's just one of those deals this time of the year where I'm not doing it because everybody else does it, but it's where we are as far as shrinking the rotation.
The way they defended Chris there was not only the switching, but the multiple bodies. How do you feel like maybe the other four guys adjusted?
I just think we spaced properly. I mean, the couple times where Chris got to the basket, that doesn't happen if we're not spaced properly. All of our guys understand for Chris and Book to be effective like that, we have to be in our proper spaces, whether it's extreme corner or at the 4-point line. And a couple of times when he got all the way to the rim, you could see that the floor was spaced because we do have guys who can knock down shots.
We'll finish with the Athletics' Jason Quick on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. I think we've all seen Chris do some pretty special things. but tonight felt a little more special. Can you kind of put into perspective what you saw from him tonight?
I mean, I've seen it a ton, and I mean, our local media are probably sick of me saying it, but it's something I'm grateful for. You know, it's not a play call. It's not an X and O thing. It's just his ability to understand when he needs to take over a game. And I don't think I've been around anybody like Chris that just has that innate feel for that time. He does a really good job of not injecting himself into the game when he hadn't had a shot. And then he has a feel for the offense being a bit stagnant, or we've turned it over, or we just didn't get good shots. And then he just goes into his mix and has the ability to get his own shot or find guys in an environment where they can score. And it's just his ability. He's just a great basketball player, not just a great point guard, but a great basketball player. Thank you.